financial institutions, government agencies, developmental organizations, and developmental projects, and private sector leadership and partnerships, making her uniquely positioned to speak on today's important theme. And of course, we are honored to have you with us. And
Thank you.
Introduce the house to you and ask that you take the floor for your keynote address. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Nee. I really appreciate the honor. And I think it's such a privilege to join you and the numbers online who are watching us and streaming in to hear what it is that we have to share. I must say that I was very excited about this topic because it means a lot to me in different ways. And so I did not hesitate to come on to talk about how we're all going to work to protect businesses, to prepare them for the risk that they face, those that they see, those that they don't see, and how they should prepare themselves. And so to contextualize our conversation on the basis of insurance and the risk that businesses face and how to address some of the challenges, my conversation is aligned to the theme that you have set for today. I would also like to also mention that the MSMEs, like was said, are the backbone of the nation. In every country, MSMEs, entrepreneurs, and their businesses play a very key and important role. But time and time again, we forget to really emphasize and talk about what it is that they're doing and to really take a step back and help them to think about how they can address some of the challenges that they face or some of the challenges that might show up as they do the businesses that they run. And there's never been a better time for this webinar to talk about how we're going to create opportunities for business owners, for them to reflect on what risk is, what resiliency is, and the long-term sustainability of their businesses. Because in as much as we talk about SMEs across the country, we never really take time to work with these SMEs to actually take a step back to consider what are the different risks that they face. And if these risks really do exist, what do they do about it? Because if they don't do anything about it, how can they be resilient and how can they in the long term be sustainable and have generational businesses? So once we look at the trajectory and the data, it shows that a lot of businesses after a few years are not sustainable. They actually die off a quick death, or they stay on for a little bit more and then just become, as I always say to people, really harnessing or supporting the business owners just to get by. So for a lot of us, when we take a step back and look at what risk is, for me, risk is the possibility of something bad happening. And it's life. In our homes, in our everyday work, we cannot think that our businesses are immune to the possibility of something bad, harmful, or unwanted happening. But the question then is, when that happens, how prepared are these businesses to address the challenges? Throughout my personal career, one of the greatest privileges I've had is working alongside thousands of entrepreneurs, small business owners, not only in Ghana, but on the continent. And I have seen firsthand what happens when businesses do not prepare. And by not preparing, they prepare to fail. So I've seen what COVID did to some businesses. I've seen what fires in markets have done to the businesses in the markets. A lot of times when we situate markets in these conversations, people think we're only talking about the traders who are the marketplace, who are selling on tabletops. But it's important to know that our markets include businesses, MSMEs, strong businesses. It's also important to realize that there are also industries that exist within these markets. So there's production happening in these marketplaces. And it's also important to know that in these markets as well, every sector of the economy is present. And I've seen how businesses, I've seen how founders, I've seen how the employees have all been disadvantaged because they did not plan that there would be some misfortune in one way or the other, and which was easily avoidable. I've witnessed the resilience, innovation, and determination that define all the entrepreneurial spirits that we claim and know Ghanaians have. I've seen businesses grow from modest beginnings into